There are 7 wilderness bosses and demi-bosses in Old School. Almost all of them can be safe-spotted to take little to no damage, extending your trips and allowing low-level players to kill them. In this video, I'll be showing you 3 Callisto safe spots, 2 Venenatis safe spots, 2 Vetion safe spots, 2 for the Chaos Elemental, and lastly 1 for the Chaos Fanatic. So in total, I'll go through 10 safe spots. The only bosses that don't have safe spots are Scorpia and the Crazy Archaeologist. Scorpia is easily killed by freezing her and attacking from a distance. And by doing that, you don't take any damage from her. With the Crazy Archaeologist, you can avoid all damage by using Protect from Ranged and avoiding the Exploding Book's special attack. So you don't really need a safe spot for both of these. Let's get into it. I'm starting off with Venenatis, and this first safe spot requires no movement at all, and all comes down to timing and mechanics. For this safe spot to work, you need a weapon that has an attack speed every 1.8 seconds, so the same speed as a short bow on rapid. The best weapon to use is a crossbow, but it does carry a lot of risk, so you could bring a magic short bow instead. So when you get to Venenatis, you need to mark or remember these tiles. You can mark tiles on Runelight by holding shift and right clicking on the tile. On the west side of Venenatis' web, you'll see that there's a line of 3 webs, then 2 webs a little further east. You need to mark the tile between these 3 and 2 webs, 1 square closer to the 2 webs. Next, you should mark out the line of tiles where the main part of the web ends, and it's in line with the 2 web gaps that are further north. So for this safe spot, you'll be standing on the first tile that we marked. Then when Venenatis looks at you to start attacking you, you instantly need to click on her and start attacking. From there, Venenatis will edge closer to you, and then get stuck a couple of tiles away and won't be dealing any damage. For this to work, Venenatis must be to the east of this line of tiles. If she's on your side of this line, then the safe spot won't work, so in that case, you should walk away and wait until Venenatis is back towards the center of her web. For this safe spot to work, you also need to have Protect from Magic on at all times, and without it, the safe spot breaks and Venenatis will attack you. This safe spot only works because you're attacking every 1.8 seconds. Any weapon that's slower or faster than that will make Venenatis attack you. In saying that, even if you have the right attack speed, you still can't eat food or do anything that will stall your attacks. You will at times need to drink prayer potions and ranging potions, but to do that, you should drink right after you deal an attack and instantly attack again so that there's no delay. It can take a bit of getting used to the timing for this one to work, so in the cases that you mess up and Venenatis is attacking you, all you need to do is run west out of her range and then go back and try again. The good thing about this safe spot is it's under level 30 wilderness, so if a PKer comes along, you can really quickly teleport out if you're focused enough. The next safe spot takes more time to set up, and you will take a bit of damage while you're setting it up. But the benefit of this one is you can use melee instead of ranged, and also you can do this one in a team, whereas the other safe spot is really hard to pull off with more than one person. This safe spot is in the northwestern area of Venenatis, so you firstly need to attack her, and then run to this tile here, which you can distinguish by these 2 webs. The tile doesn't need to be specific, but you should be nearby to these webs. I recommend bringing along a longbow to attack Venenatis. Once Venenatis comes close, you run west to this tile here. You should mark these 2 tiles to distinguish them. The one on the left has very dark rocks on it, then the other tile is 2 tiles east of that one. Once Venenatis stops moving, you need to wait until she uses one of her green attacks on you, and then you run to the western tile that we marked. You then wait there for about a second, and then run back to the first tile, and after doing this, you should see that Venenatis moves around 2 steps closer towards you. If she doesn't, you'll need to do that again until she does. So once she's in that position, run directly south, and it doesn't matter which tile you run to here, but as long as it's directly south, until Venenatis moves behind the rocks. From there, you can run west and then back up north, and Venenatis is stuck in this position where you can attack her with melee or whatever attack style you want, and also be in multi-combat, so you can use a team. Overall, I really recommend the first safe spot I showed because it's a lot faster to do, and also with this safe spot, the second one, you would have noticed that I had to tank a few hits before she got into the safe spot. Next up is Vetion, and I'm going to show two safe spots. Vetion is weak to crush and has extremely high defense bonuses in the other styles, so you should use either Verax, Vigor's Chainmace, an Inquisitor's Mace, or your best crush weapon. For the first safe spot, you start off by getting Vetion's attention, and then run east to the left tile at the entrance of this southern cave. From here, you wait until Vetion appears on your screen, then run directly south to this tile. To distinguish this tile, you can see that there's some lighter tiles to the east in an arrow-like formation. The tile you need to stop at is 2 tiles west of the last tile in the light arrow area. Once you're here, you wait for Vetion to line up with you and stop moving. Then run directly towards Vetion, and you need to stand underneath him on the western side to push him over one more tile. Now here, Vetion is stuck, and you can go through his legs to the other side of him and attack without him moving or attacking you. At 50% health, Vetion spawns 2 skeletal hellhounds, so keep an eye out for that and turn on protect from melee when that happens. Then when Vetion's purple form dies, he changes to orange, and you need to attack him straight away when that happens because sometimes he'll move out of the safe spot. The second safe spot is similar, but this time it's to the north instead of the south, and I actually prefer this safe spot since it's easier to re-lure him. So again, you'll need to grab Vetion's attention and this time run to the northwestern fire. So you'll notice there's 2 fires next to each other and you need to stand on the western one. Then Vetion stops moving and you run directly north, and there's no specific tile you need to stand on here, but you should run just before this tree here. Then once he lines up with you, run back down south and step under him to push him over 1 tile to the east. Then you run through his legs and you can attack him from the safe spot. Again, you'll need to watch out for his dogs and the second form. I prefer this second safe spot to the first one because it's easier to re-lure Vetion if he moves away when he goes to his orange form. You can see here that when he went to orange, he moved but didn't go too far, and it's easy to run out, grab his attention, and re-lure him back into the safe spot. Next is Callisto, and I'll be showing 3 safe spots. Although there are a fair few more safe spots for Callisto, but these 3 are the best ones. Callisto has a very high defense bonus in all styles, so it's best to use Verax when you're fighting him since it has a 1 in 4 chance of ignoring defense. The first safe spot is the easiest one to set up. It also has a multi-way combat area, so you can do this with a team for faster kills. Although with that, it means that there can be teams of PKers that will easily kill you. So firstly, you grab Callisto's attention by running nearby. You don't need to use any protection prayers because you can't protect from his long-range special attack. So then you run up to the east and stand behind this second tree here and wait for Callisto to stop moving behind the other tree a little further west. Then you run north, and watch out because Callisto can use his special and hit really high, so always stay above 60 hit points. You need to stand on this tile here, and you can distinguish it as being the last southern tile of this X-like formation of rocks on the ground. So now you wait here until Callisto stops moving, and then run east, and Callisto won't be able to attack you anymore, and he'll walk right into the safe spot where he's stuck. You can then attack him from his eastern side without taking any damage at all. For the second safe spot, you need to get his attention and run behind the same tree as we did in the last one. Wait until he gets stuck behind the second tree again, then this time you run northeast 4 tiles to get him to walk around that tree. Then you run south. Make sure you go to the western side of these rocks here and make your way behind this second tree stump. Now Callisto is already in a safe spot, but with this safe spot, you can only use ranged, since if you go into melee distance, he will be able to attack you. You'll notice that this safe spot was a lot faster to set up than the first one, so if you plan to use ranged, you should do this one. Now the next safe spot is an extension of this one, and it allows you to use melee and be in single way combat. So from this ranged safe spot tile, you continue running up north on the western side of these rocks. until you reach this tile here. This tile is 2 squares north of these 2 darker rocks, and it doesn't need to be this exact tile. You generally need to just be north of these rocks here. Then you can run on the eastern side of the rocks, and Callisto is now in a safe spot that you can melee from. Now, the only benefit of this safe spot is that it's in a single way combat area, and to get into single way combat, you just run a little bit south and attack him from the south. Being single way combat means that PKers won't be able to team up on you, although this safe spot does take a little bit longer to set up than the first one. Next is the Chaos Elemental, and I'm going to show flinching, but also a way to safe spot him completely. So flinching involves standing behind an object and attacking the monster and running back to the safe spot without getting attacked. To do this, you should lure the Chaos Elemental to these 1x1 tile tree spots and stand behind it. You then attack the Elemental and run back, then you wait for the health bar to disappear and then repeat. If you don't wait long enough for that health bar to disappear, the Elemental will be able to attack you between hits. I also recommend setting up quick prayers and clicking on them before you click on the Elemental for those extra bonuses. You should use a slow but powerful weapon like a God Sword or Elder Maul, since attack speed isn't important with flinching. Now for the actual safe spot. You firstly start off by getting the aggression of the Elemental, and it's best done with a long-ranged weapon. Then run west along the fence to the south, all the way to this tile here. You'll notice there's a patch of darker rocks. There's one darker rock though that's 1 square north of the others, and you should mark the tile here that's along the fence, directly in line with this darker rock. Once you see that the Elemental is attacking you again, run directly north and make sure you don't run any further west or you'll lose aggression. You need to run to the end of this rock pile here and then wait a few seconds for the Elemental to appear again, and then you can go west, and now the Elemental is stuck in a safe spot. From here you can use any attack style, including melee. The last boss or demi-boss is the Chaos Fanatic. And this one is a bit of a different kind of safe spot. It involves using a dwarf cannon, which means you do carry some risk for holding the cannonballs. With this one, you firstly set up your cannon on this tile here, slightly southeast of the obelisk. You then attack and lure the Chaos Fanatic up to the obelisk and stand behind the southeastern pillar. In this spot, the cannon double hits the Fanatic, and you can take no damage while your cannon does all of the work. Overall though, the Fanatic is really easy and fast to kill, so it's not really that useful to safe spot him, although if you're a low level, this isn't a bad idea. Anyways guys, that's the 10 safe spots for this video. Overall, my favorite safe spot is the Venenatis one, since there's no movement involved. Also, the first Callisto lure that I showed is really easy to do, and also the boss is very lucrative. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. If you want to get a gaming mousepad, be sure to check out my merch store linked down in the description. For the next 48 hours after this video's release, you can use the coupon Safespot to get 10% off any order. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a nice day.